God. Jamie, what did you see? It's where they go! Where they go! Down, down, down! Oh, God.
Welcome back, everyone. Today I will recap a 2012 American supernatural horror film named The Pact. Before we start, it is a request to please like and comment on the video as it will help us to grow our reach. At the start of the film, we see Nicole call her sister Annie and ask if she is coming to their mother's funeral. Annie refuses to go because it reminds her of how their mother used to treat them. Nicole then attempts to video call her cousin Liz and her daughter Eva. Only then does she notice someone breathing right behind her. But no one is there. She ignores it and connects with Liz, who tries to get Nicole to talk to Eva. But Nicole has weak signals that she can't communicate properly. Eva asks her who is behind her. Nicole sees a door open, leading into a dark room, and she walks inside. Next, we see Annie arrives at her childhood home in San Pedro, California for her mother's funeral. She calls out to Nicole but gets no answer. Then she checks her voicemail, in which Liz tells her that she is unable to contact Nicole and she is very worried. Annie voicemails her that she has reached her mother's house but she does not know where Nicole is. Then she calls Nicole and her phone rings from the room she went in. It's a closet, and Annie finds her phone lying there. She then hears some sound from another room where she finds a key and a photo. Now that night when she is sleeping, she is awakened by a sound. When she comes out to check, she hears another sound, and her leg gets cut by a piece of glass from a broken photo frame. And there she finds a photo of two pregnant women, her mother and a woman in a floral dress. The next day, Annie attends her mother's funeral, and it is shown that she has one blue eye and one green eye. There she also meets Liz and Eva after the funeral, and here we learn that she is meeting Eva for the first time. Eva then leaves to look out the window, and Liz asks Annie if she still hasn't heard from Nicole, to which she says no. She probably just couldn't handle this and will show up. The three then return to Annie's mother's house, where Annie shows her necklace to her, and says that it was given to her by her mother when she was a kid. Later, while they all were sleeping, Annie dreams of a shirtless man crying, and her phone shows a map pinpointing an address. Meanwhile, a loud sound wakes Liz up, and she sees a figure in her room. Then Annie's sleep also opens with a sound and her phone falls down. After that, when she goes to the washroom, she sees a figure in the hall. Just then she sees the lights in Lizzie's room flickering, so she grabs a knife from the kitchen drawer, and sees that she is not in the room. She starts looking for her and sees that the door of the closet is open, and only then does an unseen force attacks her, and tries to drag her into that closet, but she manages to escape the house. She then hears Eva crying and goes back to rescue her, and the force attacks her again. But she reaches Eva and is able to escape the house with her. Next, we see her at the police station, where she meets an officer named Bill. He tells her that he knows her sister and asks her what happened. When Annie tells him everything, he doesn't believe her and starts suspecting her. She then goes to a motel where she gets a notification on her phone, and she notices the address on it. She checks that address on her laptop and finds a blurred picture of a lady in a floral dress, and within a second, the lady in the photo changes her pose. She then comes out to have a drink, where she sees the man crying again, and when she comes back to her room, she finds a decapitated woman on her bed. Annie tries to flee from the room but the door slams shut, and it was just a nightmare. Later, she returns to her mother's house with Bill Creek, where they discover a secret room. They enter the room and Bill asks her if she has no memory of this room, to which she says no. She then sees a hole in the wall there and she notices that she can see into the living room from there. Then she finds many other holes there and tells him that her mom wanted to find this place. She guided her there, because there is something here that can tell them what happened to Nicole and Liz. But Bill does not take her seriously. Later she goes to the house of a man named Giles and asks him about his sister Stevie. Giles introduces her to Stevie and Annie reminds her that they studied together in high school. Stevie, Annie, and Giles go to the house, where Stevie asks her to take her to her mother's room. After some time, Stevie says that she is not getting anything, and asks her where she thinks they should go. Annie tells her to go to the living room and the lights start flickering. There Stevie feels something and she says that she is here. Then Giles and Annie follow her and Stevie points to the closet and asks what is there. Annie tells her that's where their mother used to take them when they were bad. Stevie says somebody is in there and starts moving towards the closet. She tells her that she can see what happened to her, and it's horrible. They then enter the hidden room, where Stevie tells her there is a second presence here. Stevie screams she didn't want to let anyone know before she faints. She then has a hysterical fit, repeating the name Judas, and a force tries to drag her away. Giles and Annie don't understand anything, and when they pull her back, they see the corpse of a woman floating above them. They run out of the room and Annie sees that woman appears at the door. And as she looks at her, she runs out of the house. She asks Stevie who was that woman in there. Giles blasts Annie for putting his sister in harm's way, and he angrily drives away with Stevie. Annie then searches about Judas online and finds a serial killer, dubbed the Judas Killer, who decapitated a woman in a floral dress, Jennifer Glick. She also notices the other woman with her mother in that picture is Jennifer Glick. On the other hand, while looking at the photos of the house, Phil finds a mysterious photo pointing to a cupboard, where there is a secret door leading into the hidden room. Now the next day, Annie comes to the location which was received in her phone, and she sees that Jennifer is pointing upwards in the photo. And after searching a little, he sees a church nearby. Here Bill comes to investigate the house and he sees that some strange light is visible in the camera, which he did not see normally. Then when he goes to check that closet, the bulb there fuses, and we see an entity going toward him. Here Annie comes to the church where she finds family photos of her mother, and discovers that her mother has a brother named Charles Barlow, and that both had connections with Glick. Back at the house, Phil finds Barlow's sister's photo, and only then does the cross hanging on the wall fall on the bed. When he goes to check that, he gets murdered by an unknown assailant. Annie calls Stevie and asks her for help. Stevie tells her the presence in the house told her that her mother did something that she didn't want anyone to know about, and that it wanted to show them something. Annie asks her what she is supposed to do, to which she says that she can give her a tool to communicate with the other side, but she should only use this if she is ready to go all the way with this thing. She then asks her if she has anything of that woman who her mother knew, to which she says yes. Now desperate for answers, Annie goes back to her mother's house and uses a makeshift Ouija board to contact Glick. She then puts that necklace on it and asks if she is Jennifer Glick, and gets terrified as the necklace moves on its own. She somehow gathers courage and asks her what she wants to tell her, to which she confirms her suspicions that Glick was murdered by her uncle, the Judas Killer. Only then the door shuts and Judas emerges from a secret hatch, seeing that she hides there and sees him going into the house through a secret door. She then comes out and discovers the bodies of Creek in the hatch, and when she goes down to get Bill's gun, she finds Nicole's body there as well. She then sees Judas crying, and only then does the magazine of the gun fall down from her hand. Now she sees that Judas is moving towards her, and as he comes back inside that room, she hides behind the curtains, and when she tries to shoot him, he knocks her unconscious. She awakens to find herself tied up and imprisoned in the closet, and when she tries to free herself, she hears Judas crying in the house. Then she pulls a hanger out of the closet and makes a weapon out of it, after which she opens the door. Then Judas comes there and walks towards her with a knife, but as he hurts her, she stabs him with the hanger. She then grabs his knife and frees herself, and Jennifer's spirit pulls her away. Now when Judas again comes to kill her, she shoots him with Bill's gun. The door of the room then opens, and Annie notices that Judas has heterochromia as well. In the aftermath, Annie is awarded custody of Eva. With Liz and Nicole dead, the house has been sold and is under renovation. In the final scene, Annie sleeps and we see in her dream that Judas' eye opens, and he looks around. Please like and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon never to miss new video updates. Thanks for watching.